People do not respond to each other based on what's actually happening. They respond based on what they think is happening, what they fear is happening, and what their past has trained them to expect. So, if you think about it in relationships, bickering usually happens because two people are not just talking to each other, they're also talking through their interpretations, their insecurities, their expectations, their emotional history. So if one person is already carrying the belief I'm not valued, they may hear simple feedback as criticism. Or maybe another person carries I'm not safe or I always get blamed. They may hear a question as an attack. Then both people stop reacting to the reality and start reacting to the meaning they assign to the moment. That's the key. I've heard this quote that goes something like, "We often see life as we are, not as life is." So in other words, we filter life through identity, wounds, fears, and habits. We assume intent instead of asking for clarity. So we fill in the blanks with old stories, and we treat interpretation like fact. So a small moment then becomes bigger. You were quiet turns into you're mad at me. You forgot turns into I do not matter to you. Or you asked a question turns into you're controlling me. Most bickering is not really about the surface issue, it is about what the issue means to each person. So a simple way to say it is something like an event leads to an interpretation, and then that interpretation leads to an emotion, and then that emotion leads to a reaction. The event may be neutral or even small, so to speak, but the interpretation creates the emotional charge. I hope you're following me. Now, that does not mean people are crazy or irrational. It means human beings are meaning-making creatures. We are constantly interpreting. The problem is that many of those interpretations are automatic, they are untested, and rooted in old pain rather than the present truth. So healthy relationships require people to slow down enough to ask, what actually happened? Or what did I make it mean? Or what else could be true? What am I assuming about your intent? And that shift reduces bickering because it moves the couple or the relationship from accusation to curiosity. People do not usually fight over reality alone. They fight over the story they attached to reality. Titans aren't born, they're forged.